Hey y'all, my name is Meyer. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're starting a brand new reading vlog, and it's probably gonna be short and sweet because I haven't been in a huge reading mood, but the point of this vlog is to hopefully reignite that, because I am actually reading a book that I'm enjoying, but the problem is I'm just wanting to do so much right now. I really want to watch season 4 of You. That's high on my priority list, is I want to watch that at some point during this week, or at least start it. And I also have a puzzle that I started like 2 months ago that has sat pretty much untouched since. So I just have a lot going on in my personal life. Okay, there's a lot to do, a lot of hobbies to explore and to nurture, and one of those is reading, because I really do want to get back into the swing of things. So I am reading Heartless by Marissa Meyer. The dust jacket is off, but also like look at how pretty it is underneath the dust jacket. Like, give her a moment. So this is an Alice in Wonderland, not even retelling, I don't think, but like an exploration of who the Queen of Hearts was before she became the Queen of Hearts. So we're following Catherine, who I presume to be the future Queen of Hearts, who is a baker. She loves making some sweet treats, and she's baking for the king, and the king actually wants to marry her. She's like, absolutely not. I don't want to marry this man who doesn't know anything about me, and who doesn't romance me, and who doesn't get me excited about anything, which, like, girl, I don't blame you. So far, I am 100-ish pages into it, I think, 115, and I'm really enjoying this. But I will say I feel like I did myself a disservice because I have never read Alice in Wonderland or even seen the movie, I think, in full. I know like what Alice in Wonderland is about, right? But I don't know all these like references and niche things in the story. So maybe I'll read this and then I'll watch Alice in Wonderland afterwards. Maybe do a little bit of a Venn diagram, compare and contrast But yeah, this is what I'm planning to read for this reading vlog. I might read something else, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's actually read one book and then we'll talk about another one, okay? Okay. Hi friends. So, a couple of reading updates for you guys. It's been a while since I've updated this vlog, and I apologize. I just haven't really been reading all that much, so it's just hard to update you when literally nothing's going on. But I did finish a book, Heartless, and I'm sorry I didn't give you guys more like thoughts as I was reading this one. To be honest, my head was pretty empty when I was reading this book. I enjoyed it. There was definitely a lot of traits about this book that I enjoyed. There were some things that I didn't love or care about necessarily, but I think I'm gonna end up giving this one 3.5 stars, close to 4. Like, it was definitely a solid young adult fantasy book, solid standalone. I enjoyed my time reading this. I just feel like it took me a little bit longer than I would have liked to get through, and I also feel like, despite this being not a long book, but like longer than 350 pages, not enough plot happened in the book. A lot of it was mostly about Catherine's internal struggles, which totally makes sense when you think about it, because this book is supposed to be why the Queen of Hearts became the Queen of Hearts, and how she used to be this super sweet, nurturing, caring girl, and she turned into someone heartless. I definitely thought it was interesting. I think if I had more context to Alice in Wonderland, it might have made me enjoy this book more, but I also don't think I really needed to have the context, because Marissa Meyer does a good job of setting it up, making sure you understand what's going on in this world, knowing who these characters are and what they're supposed to be in the Alice in Wonderland context. And my biggest complaint, or I guess gripe, why this didn't get 5 stars was actually the character development of Catherine, because you're supposed to understand how she becomes heartless, how she becomes this Queen of Hearts who shows no mercy. I think that a lot of the choices that she made towards the end of the novel made sense for her character and what specifically happened to her, but at the same time I feel like it was a snap of a hand, like flick of a wrist moment, where Catherine was this super sweet girl and all of a sudden she didn't care about anything in the world. And I just feel like some of her actions didn't necessarily line up with who she was at the beginning of the novel. So I think I just would have liked to see a little bit more development of why Catherine became the Queen of Hearts, and I'm not saying like it wasn't explored well. I just think that if that's the main point of the novel, it shouldn't be a weak point. I just think that we needed a little bit more in order for me to understand why she became this horrible, monstrous person. But overall, I definitely recommend it. I liked the world. I liked Catherine as a character. I liked learning about why the Queen of Hearts became who she was. I thought it was super interesting that she wasn't always this horrible person, and like she actually was a sweet girl who just wanted to bake pies. So I definitely recommend it if you're looking for a YA fantasy standalone, and if you do like Alice in Wonderland, I think you can't really go wrong with this book. Now the next update that I have for you guys is I've started another book. We're reading Machine this week. So I started We Were Restless Things. I picked this one up at the store a couple weeks ago because I had seen this on Books and Lala's channel. I didn't realize this wasn't like a popular novel. I thought it was because Kayla read it or like posted about it on her YouTube channel, and I was just like, man, everyone's reading this book. And then I looked on Goodreads and it was like 600, 700 ratings. So not popular at all, but the synopsis really grabbed me when I read it, and I was super excited to read it because I just kept thinking about the premise and how cool it was. And I'll just say this book is so far not what I expected. So We Were Restless Things follows this boy named, is it Jason? Not Jason, Jonas. We follow Jonas, who got kicked out of his old school, so he goes to live with his dad instead of his mom. His parents are divorced, and here in this new town he meets Naomi, who is his dad's girlfriend's daughter, and they kind of strike up this friendship. Jonas later learns that one of Naomi's friends was actually killed last year. It turns out he drowned, but there was no body of water near him, so he died in basically water that didn't exist. The authorities determined he must have fainted and fell into a puddle and accidentally drowned, but Naomi knows something that the police don't. She tried to tell them, but it wasn't going to make sense to them, obviously, because there's a lake that appears only when she's around. Naomi knows that her friend Link passed away by drowning in this lake, but she can't prove it. That was an interesting concept, right? Like, I really liked this idea of a lake that would mysteriously appear, disappear, would only come to with one person being around. It's a super cool concept to me, but the execution is just weird. We're not getting a lot of time at the lake. We're getting a lot of character drama, and we're learning about Link and Link's sister, and also like Link and Naomi's relationship in the past, and also Jonas and Naomi are sparking up a relationship, which I find personally very weird because Naomi is his dad's girlfriend's daughter. Like, that's just not a line that you cross, and it's very, very bizarre to me. This actually really did start off strong for me. Like, the first 100 pages, I was really into it. I was like, oh my god, I want more details, like what's going on. And the more I read, the more I am just not liking it because of the element of like Jonas and Naomi getting together. That's weird to me. I don't want to read about that. I think that's a very bizarre thing to include in your book when you didn't have to. So I don't like that aspect. I also don't really think that the supernatural or like the speculative element is being explored as much as it could be. Like, we're just so in these characters' heads, and we're reading about like Jonas having feelings for Naomi, and I'm like, let's get back to the mystery. Let's figure out this lake situation. Let's figure out what actually happened to Link. Why is it taking so long? It's just been a ride. And I will say, like, it's reading fairly fast. I'm almost halfway, and I haven't been reading it that long, so like definitely a super speedy read, but at the same time, like, I'm not enjoying myself, so it feels like it's taking a lot longer than it is. So hopefully I'll finish that and update you guys when I'm done, because I really don't want to talk about this book at length because it's just really, really subpar. Yeah, those are the updates. I gotta get ready for work now, so toodaloo. Hi guys. So I just blindly did my makeup. Actually, we're gonna move. Ooh, I'm just knocking over everything. Hang on. We're not gonna film in the bathroom because I feel like that's a little weird. I was trying to get like different angles for you guys because this has literally been the whole vlog. It's like this angle right here. It's not my fault that these lights are just so aesthetically pleasing. Anyways, I'm here to wrap up this video because I finished We Were Restless Things, which is right here. I'm not gonna hold this up though because holding up a tripod and a book at the same time is too much heavy lifting for me. I am going to give this book 2 stars probably. It was not good. I didn't care about the mystery. The overall like answer to everything I thought was just quite frankly stupid. Had to force myself to finish it. Consider DNFing it when I had 20 pages left and it was a 400-page book. I did not enjoy it. But there were some positives. There was an asexual main character as well as a women love women relationship on the side. So there was good representation, but the plot was just not there for me. Nothing about this book made sense. It was definitely way more of a character study than I thought it would be. I was promised this like speculative magical realism mystery and it was absolutely not delivered. So I was very disappointed. So 2 stars. Anyways, this reading vlog was not good, so I'm sorry if you guys watched this whole thing, but I appreciate you being here. I promise the next one will be better. At least I'll try for it to be better. I can't actually promise it will be better. But if you watch this whole thing, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Don't forget to like this video, comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye y'all.